we'll move to the reports. So our action register, I'm really loving these action registers, by the way. So there was a request to have our regular monthly progress report to councillors regarding Eggentyre Art Gallery, and obviously that is on this report, so thank you very much, officers, for initiating that. So that action is done. I think I moved those, don't I? Yes, could I have a mover for that? Thank you, Councillor Parker. Seconder, Councillor Shannon. Community development update. Here, thank you. Report 7.2.
Kia ora koutou, Madam Chair and councillors. I'm assuming the report that is before you will have been read, so basically I'm here to answer any questions you have, and I think Jess is sitting here if you have any further questions regarding her areas of interest, which is welcoming communities and safer communities. Any questions?
Just on your youth advisory, you had the meeting just very recently. Did you have a good turnout in response to that, and what are the next plans from that?
Thank you for asking. We had a reasonably good turnout. We had 17 youth turn up on Wednesday last week. So we had a good representation from the Tongan Youth Centre, which is just a couple of doors down from the Y. It was a good start. I would say, to be honest, it wasn't a good representative group, but that's to come further when more sort of advertising and that is going. But so far, so good, and I hope to provide some more information at the next meeting.
I was just going to ask about the homeless update. So you've got some numbers around that, or what do you, how do you basically look at that, and what information you get, and I guess ratify what you're talking about?
Thanks for asking. So I'm not quite sure how much information you have. With the homelessness update, it was an initiative along with the Mayor to try and address the issue that our officers were finding with people sleeping in rivers and in their cars and so forth, and council not having the appropriate bylaws to deal with that. But on the other side of it was more of a welfare issue. We had a lot of people going into winter without housing. So the first meeting was really good. We had a large number of agencies attending, and there was a follow-up meeting after that, and it was agreed that council's role in this is we can't provide the services. Our job was to get the agencies in the room that can provide the services and try and find a way forward. What we've agreed to do, if the Safer Communities approve under their work streams, is to produce a brochure, basically similar to the one that Tauranga City Council have, asking, do you need help, and just referring people to the various agencies, giving them all the information they need to find shelter when they need it, or the right agencies to engage with. So there'll be that, and the other thing that was discussed was just a regular meeting of those agencies which can provide services and helping to facilitate that under the Safer Communities umbrella. But that hasn't yet gone to the Safer Communities for decision making, but that's what's proposed.
So have you got any numbers? Has someone gone round and said, oh, there was 5 people sleeping rough last night or something?
That's a good question. I don't have the information here, but I'm quite happy to give you the information I do have, Councillor Booth, after the meeting. Yep.
No further questions? Okay, so we will receive and note the Community Services Development Update Report. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Jackson. Second, and Councillor Burt. Thank you very much, Claire. Okay, now we move to our progress update reports, and I think, Nicole, you're going to come up. Okay, so first one on the table is the Agantire House Gallery Seismic Repairs Project. There's a report there, so if anyone has any questions for that, now is the time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So updating progress from previous month, the RFP is out in the market at the moment. We had 6 firms with interest in doing the works. One has withdrawn, they were from the Christchurch area, the rest are actually all here local in Timaru. And we fielded a couple of questions from the group and we're making good progress on that. The RFP closes on the 3rd of October, just before that, and we will be making a final review on the 2nd of October and look to work with the winner of that evaluation process. I will then formulate the paper which will come up to tenders and procurement for council to make a decision. But good progress, things are underway and we're prepping the site at this time and we're working and it's within budget. The indications are definitely well within budget.
Within budget, that's what we like to hear. I'll just give a comment. I'd just like to commend the team that are working on this. Just all of a sudden, it feels like it's made a change. It's heading in the right direction, and I'm now a lot more confident that we can actually achieve this and get this back open for the community. So, really positive for those that have been involved. So thanks for the work.
Thank you very much.
Is there any further questions? Okay, thank you. Or Nicole, don't move, because now we'll move on to the Theatre Royal and Heritage Facility Development Progress Report Update. Oh, sorry, Shivers. Sorry, got ahead of myself, forgotten the moving. It's moved by Mayor Nigel and seconded by Councillor Burt. Sorry, Jess. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So again, a briefing update. We've moving along really quickly now with information that's coming from the team. I will be expecting personally to the project team the 100% of the developed design drawings, and for those that were able to attend the reference group stakeholder and also the opening of the exhibition, and it's open for the next 4 weeks, so please, if you have time, pop up there. You'll actually get some of the decals and pictures of some of the proposals of what it will look like inside. The team are working really hard behind the scenes. 100% will come to me and the team end of September. We then have 5 weeks where South Base will go away then and do the full estimation cost on that 100% developed. We also do our review from our QS on our side as well. We'll be ready and waiting for when they come. And if there is any value engineering, we will bring it through to the reference group. We're not anticipating, they're telling us that they're working within the estimates, apart from some of the changes that were agreed, and those costs will go on the number when we get here. And we'll bring it back to full council with a paper to discuss the estimate cost, but also some early works package, which will be a fixed lump sum that will also have QS'd, and that will arrive in November. So we're aiming for November for that information to be here in front of you to keep to our timetable. Are there any questions?
I just would like to add to that, Nicole, too, what we chatted about for the meeting is obviously just to reconfirm to councillors that in November, the developed design price estimate and lump sum price for the demolition and early works will come to council. So that will sort of be the first evidence that we will have on where we're going. Also, what has been requested too is that business sort of operational plan at that time, which is Mr. Ingram and Mr. Howe are working on. So those two things will come at the same time, which we've always talked about as important. And then once the detailed design commences through that November-February phase, the full cost and construction contract will come back to us at this or at council in February at some point, and then that's the green light.
Just wondered, actually, because it's still talk in the community, could at that meeting, because we're getting the operating cost, could we have the true cost of the theatre over the time we're putting it there? Seems we put in rates, you know, the $14 a year didn't float with anyone I talked to, wouldn't even pay the interest. So I actually just want to know the true cost of the theatre. If we're putting it over 80 years, what it will cost us at the end of that time. Whoever's responsible for the numbers.
Thanks, Councillor Pillington. We'll note that and can work through that for you. Yes.
Just following on from Councillor Pillington, the initial idea was that it was going to be paid back over 80 years, which is unheard of. And so in most projects, you put a mortgage into the bank, it's 25 years. So I'd like to see the numbers based around 25, 30 years and with current paying back. Seabay was paid back over 10 years. I don't see any, so I don't know how we're going to pay that money back. So I'd like to know reality. It should be a civic facility like that should be paid back within 25 to 30 years, not 80. That's 3 generations, unheard of. So let's be real.
So I think it's the depreciation modelled over 80 years, not the loan specifically. But my question was around the operation model, and I'm just conscious that this is such a wonderful opportunity, and I know, Nigel, you're working with Philip on this, and I just want us to include a real hard look at the conferencing opportunity. We've got that flexible space, and I just want it to be left quite flexible so we can get and optimise our revenue streams. I think that's really important, and I'm sure things are being considered, but I just wanted to leave that with you.
Yes, thank you. We've progressed an initial draft of the operational plan internally and finalised that on Thursday for wider circulation within officer testing, and it does take into account full use and conferencing and sources of revenue stream as well. And we'll hopefully have that ready, well, certainly for that November meeting.
Great. Is there any further questions? Okay, well, I won't forget this time. We'll receive and note the updated briefing report. So thank you, Nicole. Move that, me and Nigel, sorry, and seconded by Councillor Pye. All those in favour? Against? Carried. All right, now I'm not quite sure well, this is reports written by Beth. No, its author is...
Sarang.
Do we have anyone? Oh, yes, we do. The team's come out. Right, good work, team.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you, I'm just standing in for Beth, just while she's on leave. This report has been authored by Sarang and Michelle from Seabay, and it's basically seeking approval from Council to apply for funding from Trust Aoraki. So I'll hand over to the team to give the overview of the report and be available for any questions. Thanks.
Yes, so we are seeking a resolution letter today, and that is in regards for funding to continue facilitating the Water Skills for Life program that we provide at Seabay, and that's for year grades 0 to 8. So that's to give them the fundamental basics for all water situations, especially the recreational water situations that they'll find themselves in.
Thanks, Sarang and Michelle. Look, I really appreciate you bringing this report, and really important that we get this funding to help subsidise this, and it's such a great thing for the community, so I'm happy to move it.
Just in the past, what's been the process? Has this always been what's happened, or
yes,
where's the money normally
we've
from?
always came to you guys first seeking a resolution letter, and because that's one of their requirements for submitting an application. and we still have to get ready all the documents and get all the numbers ready for the Trust Awaraki, which we are currently working with them already. So we're just waiting for the main resolution letter to come from your guys, and then we'll continue the process.
That's right, I'm working. So is this the same program, effectively, that's operated out at our community pools as well? What's that? Yeah, that's
So-
where the primary and the likes go to?
Yeah, so our
Yes.
teachers actually travel out to some of the district pools closer to them where it's able to, and it is delivered at our district pools as well.
I thought so. It's sensational. All of my kids have been through it. Well done. Yeah. Got us. Yeah.
And if I can just add to that as well, I know that at my younger children's school, there are kids that don't have the opportunity to go, you know, in the water into the pool, so this program is absolutely essential for them, so well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so we had a mover and we had a seconder. You got another question?
Do all our schools participate?
Already had a mover and a seconder. So all those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. Well done, team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, consideration for urgent business items, none. Consideration for minor nature matters, none. So I will close the meeting at 12:30. Well done.